give it a couple of seconds, as I tend to tune into these live streams and find that people are waffling their way through their most important point as the live stream actually connects. So, I am thoroughly depressed with this computer, as it's been now 13 months since acquiring it, and there literally has not been a day gone by that it's worked properly. Not one day. Every single day there's something going wrong with it, something that doesn't quite work correctly. And over the course of 12 months, as a lot of members and patrons and such are aware, I've been faffing with it to get the hardware to be stable. Now, after 12 months of doing that, and finally achieving that, that is to say, it doesn't fall over because it overheats, it doesn't black screen, blue screen, crash, close down OBS, stop the stream. It doesn't do any of those things anymore. The hardware is finally stable after 12 straight months of pissing around with it. However, in the last couple of days, I've been having internet issues, so I've arranged for an engineer to come out today. Now, the Virgin Media engineer is going to replace this router at the top there at the back, and that will hopefully improve my internet connection when I've got more than one device running. Fine, but that isn't the problem. So the problem is with the computer. So there is a problem with AI Suite, Asus AI Suite, which is something that controls all of the downloads and drivers and various other stuff in the computer. And it started to become twitchy. No reason whatsoever. Don't even fiddle with the software. It just started to twitch. So I contacted my tech guy yesterday and said, here you go, here's the error message I'm getting from AI Suite. It's saying it can't connect to this particular part of the computer and giving a 00000 error code that keeps popping up over and over again. What should I do? So his advice, delete Asus and reinstall it. Now, at a glance, when I read that message, I didn't take on board fully that he said reinstall it and just deleted it. And when I did, everything worked perfectly for about an hour or two. Then we went to bed, and because the thing's got a broken power button, I left it as it would be always anyway, going to standby after about 25 minutes or half an hour. So I get up in the morning, my Windows has changed, half the software's missing, it's got no VGA drivers, it's crashing, it's black screening, it's not working, and you're like, oh, Jesus wept. Why is this thing never, ever, ever reliable? It doesn't seem to matter if it's software, hardware, the case itself, the amount of power it's drawing, there's constantly something wrong with it. And yeah, I mean, my folks made their money, their living in computers. But when I was growing up as a kid, that's all I knew. Computers, computers, computers. So it's not like I'm unfamiliar with computers. Modern computers I've had to learn over the last 12 months how to make the hardware work correctly, which is something new. But other than that, I'd say I'm not an entire novice. Like, I'm not a total noob when it comes to computers. Now, don't get me wrong, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, and I'm sure that there's been various mistakes that I've made while I've been doing the hardware. But when it comes to software, it's something I just don't tend to faff with. Why would you? Asus AI Suite, who cares? I don't need that piece of software. I'm not doing anything with that software. So when that software starts to twitch and glitch, you're like, why? Anyway, so I don't know what I'm going to do. There definitely won't be a live show today. Presumably I have to take this thing down to the guy unless he's prepared to come out to me, although he's got a business to run. My tech guy, that is, Craig. So I don't know what I'm going to do in that regard. I've got all sorts of things to do this morning, like okay, plug the battery back in. See if I can get some focus on this iPad. Is it working? Yeah, it says the clock's ticking by, so I can only assume we're live again. Okay, let's just prop this on something. Now it's plugged in. Ugh, this is awkward. I don't know what to put it on. Maybe stick it over here. I've only got so much length on my cable. Okay, so yeah, there's going to be no live stream today, as I say. Unfortunately, looking at my radiator, that's no good. Looking at my Wi-Fi router, that's no good. What can I look at? There's nothing I can look at. Right, I'll just have to hold it. Hopefully I'll get a few minutes standing in this awkward position looking at this computer. Okay, so there's going to be no live stream today because the computer's broken. That's the bottom line here. So in case I do run out of battery, I might as well just get my points across, which is to say that this is an endless headache. this computer. I don't know what to do, as it's had about £5 plumped into it so far from one guy who's bought me the thing very graciously when the last computer started to fail, and it was cobbled together or cobbled back together by Craig temporarily so I could run the show, albeit slightly unreliably with a worse spec computer. Yeah, shucks, yeah, indeed. But the bottom line is I've got to get it fixed, so I have to plead with him to come out to me or physically disconnect the thing, which is a massive, massive, massive pain in the ass. So I might as well show you that if I can prop this up in such a way. No, I'm not going to be able to do this. Put that on there. Let's try that and see if we can get some lights on so we can see what's going on. So what I'm going to do now is just pull off a bit of this computer so you can see what I'm talking about in terms of how massive a pain in the arse it is. There we go, a bit of light. Spin this around a little bit. Okay, so in here, I've got my chopstick down here to turn it on and off with. So I have to poke this chopstick inside the computer because the power button has broken, as has the reset button, because it's all been disconnected because I couldn't see the back of the motherboard to figure out which one the power button was. But can we see this? Yes, we can. Okay, so down here is the graphics card inputs. Now, a lot of them are connected to the outside of the case so that I can actually plug in my HDMI lead for the projector into the back. But the signal isn't strong enough to carry DP, is it, or whatever it's called, DisplayPort. So I have to connect it via the bottom of the PC. So I have to feed in a cable underneath the PC and then connect it directly to the graphics card with the connection on the back side. So there's no button to release the DisplayPort. So I have to get some sort of pokey device behind this to be able to get in to release the DisplayPort, feed it back through the PC, and then do the same on the other side with a lot of USB connections, which have the exact same problem, which is to say that the addition of a daisy chain connector to the back doesn't allow the USB to work. So things like my camera, there's no way it works on the back of the PC. I have to plug it into the motherboard directly, which means on the other side, where the motherboard is, there's the exact same problem I've just shown you with the graphics card. All sorts of cables that are fed in from the bottom of the PC that take about 20 minutes to disconnect. So I have to physically tilt the thing out, put a Lego brick underneath it, a giant Lego brick that we have for storage for the kids, so I can balance the thing precariously, disconnect all the wires, and then physically take the thing out. So that's an immense amount of work just to get the bloody thing down to the guy to have a look at it. And like I say, after getting the damn hardware fixed, it's the most annoying thing in the world. The last thing you want is to get the hardware stable and then have a physical case problem where the power button breaks, which is what happened over the weekend. And now we're into what are we, Wednesday? And now I've got a software issue. You're like, oh, this is never ending. 13 months of this. Oh, and it's like, what can I do? I can't run the show on the iPad. It's just far too much to get any basic computer to do. So I need the damn thing to run. So there we go. There's my woes for the day. My total irritation with this non-stop broken PC. You know, and as much as I really am grateful that I've got a supportive community that has bought me this PC. One guy, but he's a member of my community at Nathan Oakley 1980. So the fact that I can get that sort of support obviously makes me feel uncomfortable making a video like this, but I feel justified after 13 months of headaches. I feel justified in moaning, because most people stick in a computer and they might get a week's worth of headaches if they're totally bewildered by computers. Me, I'm not bewildered by computers. I've grown up with them, so I'm reasonably au fait with what to do and can struggle my way through if something's new, like new memory, in this case new CPU, and as an upgrade a new graphics card. It's all new technology, and yeah, I can wrap my head around it with enough time. Unless you've got a 250 watt chip that can run at 350 to 400 watts in an Asus motherboard on a 150 watt passive cooler, then that takes some time to figure out, and I have. So to get software issues at this stage in the race, trying to get this damn computer to just work each time I turn it on in the morning, it's just a nightmare. So anyway, there's my excuses when you're wondering, why is there no flat earth debate today? You'll know why. The engineer's coming out a couple of hours time, when presumably I'll be out swimming, sod's law, or my wife's working. He'll be out fiddling in the corner that I don't want him touching stuff when I'm not here. But that guy's coming out later, and then, I don't know, I've been in communication via Skype with my tech guy this morning. He was very gracious to answer my Skype message with me swearing about how depressed I am at 7:30 in the morning. But there we go, that's just the way it goes. I'll end this stream here. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I will see you, definitely will see you once this is working, in the next video.